Martell Holt is back in the headlines, and this time, it's not just some petty Instagram beef or quick clapback online. What's brewing now feels like a real reality TV shakeup, the kind that can change the direction of a whole show. And let me tell you, the OWN network is not sitting back quietly. Something has clearly happened behind the scenes, and whatever it is, it might have slammed the door on any chance Martell had of pulling off a comeback with Arrionne. Yes, that Arrionne, the woman who has drifted in and out of his life like an uninvited guest at a family barbecue. She's been a shadow in the background for years, but this time, she's stepping right into the light. And here's the thing, this mess is no longer just about an old love triangle. This is about image, control, and power. It's messy, it's public, and it's moving fast. Let's rewind for a minute. Martell has been on a mission to clean up his image. He's been posting pictures of himself as a loving dad, dropping little captions about real life, and sprinkling just enough shade about his past with Melody Sherry to keep people curious. It was working at least a little until Arrionne reappeared, and this time, she came back bolder than ever. She's been dropping TikToks that feel a little too perfectly timed, sharing clips of Martell calling her baby girl, and making it clear she's not hiding anymore. And, judging by how freely she's posting, it looks like Martell isn't hiding her either. Then things got even messier. A private phone conversation between Martell and Arrionne somehow ended up online. And y'all, it was awkward. On one side, Martell is taking his son on a sweet little train ride, looking like he's auditioning for Dad of the Year. On the other side, Arrionne is in his ear asking for selfies and using pet names like they're teenagers again. It was weird, cringy, and oddly sweet all at the same time. But the real eyebrow raiser? Arrionne casually mentioned Rashida and Kirk Frost possibly coming to Huntsville. That single comment sent fans into overdrive with rumors. Some people now believe Martell is considering a move to Love and Hip Hop, and if he's planning that, they think Arrionne would be coming along as his +1. This theory got even stronger when fans noticed Martell has been missing from the most recent episodes of Love and Marriage, Huntsville. In reality TV, disappearing without explanation usually means one of two things: contract drama or a quiet firing. And in Martell's case, some believe it could be a strategic exit to set up his next big TV move. Meanwhile, Carlos King, the man running things behind the scenes, has been busy trying to keep the LAMH audience hooked. Ratings for a recent episode dropped, and fans didn't hold back. They started questioning if the show was losing its spark. Carlos quickly jumped in to defend it, pointing out that live ratings aren't the full picture anymore because streaming numbers also count. He's right, but numbers don't fix the feeling that something is off. And right now, the vibe of the show is shifting. Martell, for his part, seems caught between two worlds. In one, he's working hard to keep a polished public image. In the other, he's still tied to Arrionne, a woman who has never been shy about wanting her moment on camera. For years, Arrionne was kept in the shadows, labeled the other woman, while Martell and Melody's marriage and divorce played out on national TV. But now, she's not waiting for an invitation. She's making her own way into the conversation, and Martell seems to be letting it happen. Here's the thing about reality TV: if someone keeps showing up in your real-life social media posts, recorded phone calls, or public appearances, production eventually has to acknowledge them. And if OWN doesn't want her on the show, that could be one more reason for Martell to walk away and pitch himself somewhere else. While Martell's been MIA, Letitia and Marceau Scott have been carrying more of the show's storylines. For some viewers, it's been refreshing: less chaos, more balance. But for someone like Martell, who's used to being the center of attention, watching the spotlight shift has to sting. And now, with Arrionne stepping up, it's only adding fuel to his fire. Carlos King, of course, is still stirring the pot online. He's been posting polls that pit cast members against each other, like one asking fans to pick between Marceau and Maurice Scott. Shockingly, Marceau came out looking like the reasonable one this time, which says a lot if you've been watching long enough to remember his past messes. But make no mistake, these polls aren't just for fun. They're a distraction from the bigger topic: Martell's sudden absence. Arrionne, meanwhile, is doing just enough to keep herself in the mix. Her TikTok showing Martell's name on her phone screen while he calls her baby girl? That wasn't random. That was intentional. Fans have seen her play the game before, but this time feels different, more confident, more calculated, like she already knows how this story will unfold. People forget Arrion didn't go looking for fame, but she's also not running from it anymore. She's been called every name in the book, painted as a side piece in someone else's marriage, but now she's flipping the script. She wants a seat at the table, and Martell might be the one pulling out the chair for her. Fans are split right down the middle. Some are here for the chaos and want to see what Arrion could do as a full-time cast member. Others feel betrayed, especially the ones who stood by Melody during her divorce. For them, seeing Martell even hint at getting close to Arrion again feels like a slap in the face. And here's where it gets tricky: Martell isn't stupid. He knows controversy sells. If he really is planning to jump to another reality show, he needs buzz, and what better way to get people talking than to bring back the most polarizing woman in his life and flip the narrative? Whether this plan will work is anybody's guess, but one thing is certain: Martell and Arrion's story is far from over. Through all of this noise, Melody Sherry has been holding her ground. She's been focusing on her kids, her career, and her peace. But that doesn't mean she's been completely untouched by the drama. Recently, she shared a story about something that happened at a gas station, and it shook her fans. It wasn't just a dramatic tale, it was real. She explained how some strange men blocked her and her kids at a pump. Instead of panicking, Melody calmly called her security and made sure her children were safe without escalating the situation. That moment reminded everyone why so many people respect her. She's been through so much in public, yet she still keeps her composure. Even her daughter, Sugar Mama, managed to bring a little light to the situation. During a live video, Sugar Mama started talking about having a boyfriend, and Melody quickly rushed to end the conversation, laughing but also clearly surprised. It was a small, funny moment in the middle of all this tension, a reminder that life goes on, even when drama is all around. But the big question remains, with Martell making moves, Arrion stepping into the spotlight, Carlos King pulling strings, and Melody holding her ground. Where does this story go next? Because whatever happens, it's clear this isn't just about one messy relationship anymore. This is about control of the narrative, and right now, everyone's fighting to be the one holding the pen. If Martell is truly set on dragging Arrion into the spotlight and possibly walking away from love and marriage, Huntsville, the question becomes, what happens to everything this cast has built over the years? This show wasn't just some random group of strangers thrown together for ratings. It was built on the real lives of real couples navigating the highs and lows of marriage, friendship, business, and betrayal. From the very beginning, Melody and Martell were the heart of the show. Their love story turned into heartbreak, their messy divorce, the cheating scandal, the public co-parenting struggles. It was all raw, and that's exactly why viewers connected. It wasn't just drama for drama's sake, it felt real, and people could see pieces of their own lives in it. But if Martell decides to walk away and cook up some new storyline with Arrion, it doesn't just change his image, it shakes the foundation of the entire show. Fans didn't just sign up for chaos. They signed up for authenticity. They've been there for Kimmy's cancer journey, rooting for her as she fought through one of the hardest battles of her life. They've watched the Scotts try to build businesses together while balancing marriage and family pressures. They've celebrated victories, felt the pain during low moments, and even jumped into heated debates online because these stories matter to them. For a lot of people, love and marriage, Huntsville isn't just reality TV. It's something personal. That's why all of these quiet, sneaky moves behind the scenes are hitting fans differently. It feels like the soul of the show is being tampered with, and that's dangerous. And here's where Martell might be miscalculating. If he thinks teaming up with Arrion will help him take control of his own storyline again, he might want to slow down and think this through. For years, Arrion wasn't just the other woman, she was the symbol of the betrayal that tore apart a family fans had invested in. Putting her front and center now doesn't just bring up old wounds. It makes it look like Martell never truly learned from them. People can forgive a lot when they see growth. They can even forgive betrayal if there's accountability and change. But when it starts to feel like you're rubbing their faces in the very thing that broke their trust, that forgiveness disappears fast. And word is, the OWN network has already taken notice. Rumors are flying that any idea of bringing Arrion onto the show in an official way has been completely shut down. Not because they're scared of drama is their business, but because they understand where the line is. And by pushing Arrion into the spotlight, Martell might have crossed it. That could explain why he's been so quiet on recent episodes, why his screen time seems to be fading. It's possible he's already being phased out. Or maybe he's making the choice to step away before the network forces him to. Either way, one thing is clear: Martell isn't interested in playing by the same rules anymore. Where does that lead him? Maybe to love and hip-hop. Maybe to his own spin-off. Or maybe it leads him to complete obscurity, where the cameras stop rolling and the calls stop coming. But here's the gamble: in chasing this new narrative with Arrion, he's risking everything. The fans who stuck by him, the legacy he helped build, the respect he's been trying to claw back for years, it's all on the line. Because when the lights go off, the cameras get packed up, and the online buzz dies down, all that's left is the truth. And right now, that truth is looking a little too messy for prime time. So maybe the real question isn't what's Martell's next move? Maybe it's what's left for him when the game he's been playing finally catches up to him?